Hello and thank you for joining us on the last edition of Journalist Hangout this week. I am Benga Oreshegun. Today on the program, Waec detects technical bugs in candidates' 2025 WASC results, orders fresh check. Governor Bago says amnesty for bandits in neighboring states is hurting cattle trade in Niger State. And later on the show, INEC backs inmates' voting rights, seeks National Assembly's backing as 151 associations seek registration as political parties. Well, I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Charles Idero. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. Now, why Nigerians are regarded as people who don't learn from history is the fact that too many calamities are allowed to be repeated. Just a few months after the debacle over the results of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, a cloud of uncertainty is hanging over another public examination. This time, the West African Examinations Council, Waec, has directed all candidates who sat for 2025 school-based Senior School Certificate Examination, SSCE, to check their results afresh on its portal from the next 24 hours. In a statement, the spokesperson, Moyosola Additional, asked candidates who might have checked their results before now to recheck the same on the portal for the authenticity of their results, citing technical glitches detected during the internal review of the released results for the reason. Okay, BKO, technical bugs in candidates' result. How do you react to Waec's recent statement?
Well, if you recall, we discussed this matter earlier in the week, and I knew that something was wrong with some, especially in respect of some subjects. There are some excellent students that naturally, in their favorite subjects, mathematics, you expect a distinction. And in the whole school, nobody got a distinction in mathematics, nobody got a distinction in English. And in that same school, just six persons, got a distinction in biology, and nobody got a distinction in economics. These things are not normal.
Exactly.
And what I said at that time, I'm sure Nigerians will recall what I said. What I said was that we had this kind of problem with JAMB.
Yeah.
People raised an alarm, and after that, JAMB looked at its internal processes. JAMB did a review as a responsible organization and discovered that there were mistakes. People could not upload the answers. How do you expect an excellent student who had difficulty uploading answers to do well in an examination? Absolutely. Even if you are the most brilliant in the world, you are going to be in trouble. Sure. If you cannot accept what is the essence of an examination?
To test the knowledge.
To test the full breadth of your knowledge, and then you need to show answers.
Exactly.
That's the test of that knowledge. If you are unable to upload your answers, what do you then? How do you pass? So I knew that something was wrong. There are people who told me, well, this is not new, JAMB, because I demanded that Waec
should look inwards exactly.
Yes. And that if it happened, there were boys that students that scored below 200 in JAMB, and one of them scored 365. Somebody was initially scored below 200. When they now got a chance to do it again, the boy now scored 365, the second best in the school. What if that opportunity had not been provided? Now, what? Because people know that this is not normal. Look at what Waec is saying. As part of our efforts to curb examination malpractice, the Council embarked on an innovation already deployed by a national exam body.
Okay.
Apparently, are referring to JAMB. The paper serialization was carried out in mathematics, English language, biology, and economics. An internal post-result release procedure revealed some technical bugs in the results. These subjects are the subjects where
the problem.
Those issues have arisen. If you want to trial something new, you've got to do it in a manner that does not hurt the chances of these young children.
So they don't get demoralized.
Because at the end of the day, we are talking about, in some cases, people writing exam late in the night. And children having to take their words back home as late as 11 p.m. We are not even talking about all that. Without light and all that. Yes. We are not talking about that. But we are talking about the fact that ordinarily, students would not do badly in an examination. I know my son, for example, you see, I don't want it to sound like modest. My son has never failed to record a distinction in mathematics from his primary school days. From primary school right up to, sometimes he will even score 100, over 100. So I know him. So when he saw his score, he was like, come on, what is going on? Did they penalize my school? Because he then asked his best friend. His best friend is the best in the school. That's the boy who scored 370 in JAMB. And he then called the boy and saw that even that boy had also not secured the distinction. And that was that boy's best subject too. So I knew that something was wrong. But what we must learn is to ask questions. Now, they said, okay, Waec then denied access to the portal to enable them clean up the mess. But it then said within 24 hours, people can check. But just before we started the program, when we checked, what was there was no access. I mean, the result not available for the candidate in the specific year and exam diet.
So we will not have it done.
The result not available for the candidate in the specific year and the exam diet.
So the 24 hours given,
up to now,
it's still not open.
Yes, people have not been able to access.
And they are most likely going to pay money.
That's a portal on the screen.
Yes, you can see. Because that is the message on the board. Our children deserve much better than this. Don't put this young. They will lose faith in their country. They will lose faith in our institutions. And these are institutions that have endured all kinds of problems over the years. And they've remained solid. They've remained respected across the globe. We must not, because we want to stop people from cheating, we want to come up with innovations, try something that we had not properly thought out. Because even if you hurt a single child, it is bad enough. Not to talk of hurting a whole generation. People, that's no big deal. For people who are good in mathematics, there's no big deal in securing a distinction.
Yes.
Well, you have a situation in which some of the best are scoring something like C4, C5, things like that. So they will be wondering, what have we done wrong? And look at even a whole school. No distinction in English, no distinction in maths, no distinction in economics.
And
biology, just 6% out of more than 100 people in a school where you know that they are reputed for excellence and all that. So I'm happy at least that they are trying to clean up this mess. But these things shouldn't be happening.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be happening.
I mean, Charles, why was the system not tested adequately before they released the results?
That's a good question. It also following what he mentioned, he made allusion to that JAMB. Was it last year it happened? JAMB said even this year. So whatever they did, when they now came back, it was about 4 days before the exams, and they did also tell those who are going to be manning it that they have done a reset of the whole thing. 4 days before, that's what JAMB, 4 days. Then coming to Waec, when you talk about the paper serialization, and then those 4 subjects are the one affected. Now, when you look at the time, between, I think it's about 10 or so days before you do another Waec. Waec is not monthly. It's not even quarterly. So you have ample time to do whatever you're doing, and then you test run. Not when, I quite agree that innovation is good. That what you said, the impact on the innovation, you have to also checkmate those who want to even examine and all. There's nothing wrong with when you want to put in place something that will check or you know, to checkmate those who want to even do something improper in the system. But you know that this is technology that's evolving. Evolving technology is something that you have to do. You test run over and over again. You can even do mock exam to use to test run it. Mock exam to test run it and all that before you cannot deploy it for proper examination. Because we begin to, last year, I think the result, let's say about 72.something%, which is score. But this year, 38.32. Imagine the gap, 72.something, now 32.something.
But the thing is, how will future exams you know, avoid such technical bug occurrences?
Well, I think what they are doing now, thankfully, they might also be watching our show to also tell them that this issue of when you want to do innovation, want to also update or upgrade, don't do it when it's too close to the exam date. Even 1 month is even too close, because there could be hitches. This is technology. Things can happen, and then server, even if they don't even if they own their own server, there's also a problem over there. So look at how about the map power, how about the technician and all that. So a lot of things have to happen. You can deploy it, you test run over and over again to ensure that it has got to a level where it is foolproof before it can. Because
exactly. Because this whole thing, they can make a difference between success and failure.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
And you've chosen to deploy this in the most critical subject.
Very critical. Okay, exactly what it is about those forces, and that's the way you have problems.
Critical subject.
Not even others.
You want to do
upgrade or whatever you are doing.
You want to become a medical doctor, for example. Okay. You cannot escape biology.
You can't. I mean, of course, that's the that's what they call. I think core course is a core subject.
Escape biology.
Is a core subject.
And then, of course, math is not even part of the.
It's elective.
Yes,
that's elective.
It's physics, chemistry, biology. Those are the critical subjects. You know. Now, for engineering, for example, you cannot escape further maths or
even mathematics. Yes, exactly.
So
they are very important.
These are critical subjects. Those who want to do the social sciences, humanities and all that.
For English,
you have
compulsory.
You have economics. You want to do banking and finance, you cannot escape from economics. So these are critical subjects.
And you now
these are the subjects where these children have had to face this problem in a manner that even makes them to question their abilities.
Their ability. What is
one of the boys said, "What did I do?
What did I do?"
Because he cannot believe this is him. He knows
you know your competence.
He's better than
you know your competence.
Yes, he said, "What have I done?" Thank God that GC, the one they call GC external, some of us have ensured that our children
they also take that.
Start.
Yes. There's even
at the time when they had not been taught a lot of those.
Yes, a lot of things over there, exactly.
But they still excelled. Yes. They excelled. Because these innovations that they brought, they didn't bring it at that time. So I guess their plan is, okay, we've introduced 4 subjects. Let us see. By next year, all of them will
now be, combined and put over there. But again, as I said, I'm not questioning the rationale behind wanting to upgrade or whatever.
Yes.
But the time should always be allowed to be, long enough to test run.
In
That's what I'm saying.
In the mock Waec.
The mock, exactly. That you do it in mock.
Yes.
So that you use that to test run. Exactly.
All right, gentlemen, we have Dr. Pat calling in from Port Harcourt. Dr. Pat, let's talk. Hello, Dr. Pat. Are you still with us?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
My own observation in this administration, I think the administration is working well because some years back, they don't dictate all this. Some people maybe must have passed, but because of one or the other, which they refuse to dictate, some people will feel they won't know why they are failing. But now, things, at least gradually, the way things are now, I believe is better. We are getting there.
Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you very much. Appreciate you.
So, we're still right? Yeah.
Yes.
Technology, see, even here, when we started during Hangout, E15, the technology we are using today isn't what we used that time.
Yes.
So we have also gone, further and all that. We are
the kind of chairs we sat on.
First of all, they were those chairs we were hanging out, our legs were hanging out before we now came to that round table and all that.
And those of us, I remember General Adeosun, former number 2, the Nigerian Army, was telling General Buratai. General Buratai saw me, sir. I used to think you were a great person. So then I just now say, oh, you didn't remember that when he sits on that chair, his leg never touches.
Will be hungry. He'll be dangling.
Exactly. You forgot that his leg never touches the ground.
But you see now, your feet are.
No, they give us a better chair.
Exactly.
So my leg touches the ground.
Then look at the background and all that. This one, so technology
nobody is saying don't introduce technology.
Yes, exactly.
But we must do it in a way that doesn't hurt or imperil the academic future.
Exactly. And then the system.
Exactly. So, because if you do not even decide to check, for example, let's even imagine that JAMB didn't give these kids a second chance.
Imagine
you know how many lives, you know how many people are committed suicide.
Exactly.
The reason the problem was assuaged, the pains were assuaged, was because JAMB immediately promised that there will be a second chance for them to have a shot at that exam again. And
they took responsibility.
And apologized.
Yes.
And apologized.
Yes. Prof was very responsible.
He apologized.
He said no. Sorry. He even wept.
And wept, remember?
So that was what calmed
and then they came up with something.
And then they got that chance.
Yes.
A good number of those children now did very well.
As is expected.
Yes. You know the head boy in your school.
Yes.
You know how good that head boy is. If you suddenly heard that he scored below 200, you will not believe the result. And we must ensure that we have examination bodies that people can trust even with their lives.
Yes.
So these bugs, these
all these glitches and bugs,
they don't help the situation. If it continues like this, people eventually lose faith, lose confidence in the integrity of those.
Sometimes I even ask, why do we almost always have the bugs in government agencies?
No, this is not a government.
No. I'm not what I'm saying. But
all right, gentlemen. We need to move straight to our next conversation right now. Now, the